For most of you watching this video, I don't recommend training by instinct or feel. Does this work? Yes. Can you get stupid, huge, and strong with this approach? Absolutely. But unless you've been training for a very long time and really know your body and have a full understanding of training programming, I don't advise it because it can lead to several flaws in the training system, which I'm going to discuss right now. First of all, you don't know what the hell you're managing in terms of volume and intensity and total workload. The numbers can be totally off on a workout to workout or weekly basis, which can lead to what? Plateaus, stalls, spinning your wheels constantly. This is what I see in those who've been novices for many years on end. They went by the feel instead of tracking the goddamn numbers, which would have been so easy to spot on a piece of paper. Not saying you got to bring a workout log to the gym, even though I highly recommend this. See my full video on the subject. But at least write down the workouts beforehand. This way, when you go to the gym, you can look at the plan and then follow it. What is one of the main reasons why people struggle with novice programs? They add shit to it, right? They do stuff that's unnecessary. They up the volume. They up the intensity. They change the parameters in such a way that's no longer novice routine. Well, this can happen with all programs. And that's why guys are failing with instinct-based methods. Like I said, it does work, and I'm guilty of this 100%. And you've seen even my workout videos recently. I'm talking about, oh, I felt like doing this today. But guess what? If you actually analyze it to the finest detail, looking at the numbers objectively, you'll find that it's not the most consistent way to do things. And we also run into the problem of accountability and being a lazy motherfucker. Let's say you were supposed to do a 5x5, but your feelings tell you to do a 3x5. Okay, I can understand you might have been a little bit tired that day, but the workout called for 5x5. And what does that mean? Well, now you're getting a different training stimulus, different effect. You might go a little bit heavier. Instead of sticking to that true 5x5, which would have been more difficult, you got more volume as well. Programs can alter when you're only going by feel. Or what if you forget what you're supposed to do? In fact, let's say you're constantly rotating exercises, right? And you think it's been a month since the last time you did a regular weighted pull-up, but it's only been 2 or 3 weeks. And now you go in the gym and you're hitting it again, and next thing you know, you're failing lifts. Why does that happen? Well, because you weren't held accountable. You actually forgot about the exercise rotation because you're not keeping track of it. You have to measure it, guys, if you want the best results possible, especially if there's a progression model automatically built into it. Now, I'm not a huge fan of those minimalist routines that have like the exact percentages because that can vary a lot. And that's why we have auto-regulation and stuff like that. But despite that, I really like the fact that it keeps people accountable because they have to hit those fucking numbers and that's it. So if your workout called for 80%, you got to do it. In fact, when I was training with Omar Isuf in Toronto, his workout called for a little bit under 315. A tiny bit under, literally. And he chose to do it because that was leaving his ego out the door. His program called for that. It was exactly that percentage. He hit it, and that was it. That's what I'm talking about. If you're going by instinct, you might be like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to do 315 because I can. It's not that far off, right? There's a little bit more room for experimentation in a way that could be negative. A little bit more ego lifting involved. Whereas when it's structured, it's like, okay, this is what it's going to be. Even if you do feel a little bit better, you know what? Stick to the percentages or just stick to the general progression model. Stick to these numbers that's listed. Do it. And then next workout, you'll come back stronger. There's going to be no problems. That's it. And at least you know for an absolute fact that you did nothing wrong in terms of programming. You managed all the variables correctly. And if there are problems after that point, well, now all you have to do is look back at the workout that was written down and analyze it. Did I overdo it with the volume and intensity? Did I add an extra exercise that were unnecessary? What were the flaws? You see it, especially if you pair it with workout logs, because now it's all held accountable. You want to be accountable with everything in your life. You want to track your time because it's the most valuable asset, and you want to be scheduling everything. If you don't know what you're going to do the next day, like have a calendar, not just for lifting, but track, measure, and the same thing for lifting. It's good to have a general idea. It's good to understand exercise science and programming and all that. And I can understand that if you've been lifting for a long time, you may not want to write down everything or just do things beforehand. But I'm telling you that this is the way to go. And that's why when I write people training programs, it's all pre-written. If you get a 4-week program, everything's laid out. You just got to follow it and that's it. But if you're just winging it based off a template, that can cause you to fail eventually or make gains that are not totally consistent. There could be time periods where you're going really well and then down. Again, we're going back to that roller coaster action, which I've never been a fan of. Consistent gains year round, constantly going up, not running back down the mountain, as that's Sikorsky stated in Science and Practice of Strength Training. So that's my advice, guys. I know it's hypocritical of me to make this video because you can go back 2 months and I've been talking about instinct-based training. But don't let that take away from the message. If you follow something that's really planned, really structured, you'll make the best gains possible. And that's what I'm talking about here. I keep stressing the same message in every goddamn video. And I'm not going to stop repeating this. There's a big difference between effective and optimal. What is optimal in terms of making gains? Structuring your program. Having it all known before you enter the gym. That's what I'm talking about, guys. So let's be accountable in all aspects of our life. Let's stop winging it. Let's be strategic. Let's manage our time the proper way. Let's schedule. Let's do things to the best of our ability. This way, we know that we did everything in our power to succeed. And if there are flaws, we can calibrate very easily because it's all been written down. So that's my advice, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you got some feedback, and I'll see you in the next one.